Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I know I haven't posted a seeing my face, talking about stuff video in a long time. It's been a week. It was the Darlington preview. Actually, it's basically been 2 weeks since I actually posted my first, my last long form video. I was sick after the Darlington race weekend, and I got better on Wednesday. And I just didn't have enough time. I was doing stuff. I was busy. I didn't have enough time to post any stuff before the All-Star race. So I'll just do the race weekend recap and my power rankings and all the new news stuff in this one video. So hope you all enjoy this. But remember always, I'm going to say it again and again and again. But remember, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you keep enjoying this channel, follow, obviously, on my Instagram and all these other platforms that I'm on, just so you all can see what other content I post anywhere else, if and when I do. So, getting on to this, let's go over the All-Star race / North Wilkesboro race weekend. So, the Truck Series race, boring. I didn't watch it, but Corey Heim won on Sunday since it got rained out on Saturday. Then let's go to the All-Star race. So, first, the race, it was boring. Logano led every lap but one. 199 of 200 laps led. He did a great job, I'll say that. Congrats to Joey Logano and Corey Heim, your two race winners from this weekend. But I just want to say that it was stupid how Kyle Busch overreacted that much to getting into the wall. And the thing about the next gen cars is you can literally see in the Gen 6, he might have been out of the race if we raced at North Wilkesboro with these cars with the Gen 6. But if you look at his car after the caution had come out for when he wrecked Ricky Stenhouse, his car looked like he barely got a Darlington stripe at Darlington. It didn't look like anything was broken. The toe link wasn't broken. The suspension wasn't broken. Nothing was broken. He got back out there and raced. That's the thing about these composite bodies, these carbon fiber composite bodies, is you can hit the wall that hard and you're fine. But what I saw when they showed Ty Gibbs on board cam from when he was behind Kyle Busch when Kyle got into the wall is Ricky could have given him a little more room or maybe not gone for that gap. But I will say Kyle did basically put himself into the wall trying to avoid Stenhouse but still be there on the outside. And I'd say I'd put the blame on Kyle on that one. Ricky, I mean, could have given him a little more room, but he fired off great on the start of that All-Star race. He was dead last, basically, and drove up to, 13th in, a half a lap. And then after that, he just got wrecked, obviously, on lap 2. And it was way too early for that. And I don't like the Kyle Busch we're seeing now. Last year, when he came to Richard Childress, it was a new Kyle Busch. He was clean. He wasn't mad that much. He may have gotten a little heated at sometimes, but we didn't see the old, I want to beat his ass Kyle Busch. We saw a cleaner Kyle Busch and a more competitive Kyle Busch with that cleanness. But after the summer, and then after that summer slump, he was terrible in the second half of the season. It was like Busch was lights out fast in the first half of the year, and then you snap your fingers and you're like, Kyle Busch is running 18th right now at one of his best tracks. It's like he was terrible, and then now he started off 2024 terribly. Didn't do good in the 500, didn't do good at Atlanta. Well, did good in Atlanta, but after Atlanta, he was terrible after every race. He then peaked at Dover, and then after Dover, he's fallen off again. So I feel that this Kyle Busch is getting way more aggressive, way more over his head, and he's like the old Candyman KFB that we always used to hate and know. It's like he got cheers after winning an auto club last year. Now it feels like if he wins a race, he's going to get booed now like he used to. It just seems like now that Kyle Busch is not as aggressive and not as competitive as he used to be at JGR when they were good with him, at Richard Childress in the first half of last year. It's like when he was competitive, it's a good Kyle Busch. It's a clean Kyle Busch. It's a calm, cool, and collective Kyle Busch. But when he gets over his head, gets overly aggressive, and is not running as well as he used to be, as statistics are showing it, he gets over his head and he runs through people, starts fights, calls people out on his social media, in interviews, and I just don't like this Kyle Busch. And I'm gonna say that Eric Estep said this in his video from last night. Kyle Busch, this is not the Kyle Busch we've seen. Truck racing is his bread and butter. And look what he did at Darlington. He spun himself on lap 2 going for the lead. That's not what we see out of Kyle Busch. He doored himself and completely ruined his own race at Darlington. And then here, he walls himself after getting little to no room from Stenhouse, and then Stenhouse runs right through him. And then, I'm not going to forget to mention this, on like lap 117, he ran through and wrecked Ty Gibbs. He wrecked his old ride. It's like, I don't know what to think about this, but what I'm going to say is this is not the Kyle Busch that I grew to like after last year. I've never liked Kyle Busch, but I started to after last year when he was racing more calmly, and I don't want to say anymore. So that's what I want to say about that. Don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to find Ricky, find Kyle, find the teams. I don't know. We'll just have to see as we go through the week heading into the Coke 600. And now I want to note on another topic. So just like Eric Estep, he posted a video today about this exact topic, but SHR might be shutting down. I was gonna post a video about this, about SHR going over their heads, running stupidly, doing dumb stuff a few months ago, but I decided not to because it was a weird thing where nothing was working and I couldn't post it. And then now I'm gonna make this into this video because I'm tired. I'm tired of hearing SHR news, and it gets to this root. Tony Stewart's out. I'm just going to say it now. Not a lot of people are going to think this because he's been there since not even 20. He's been there since 2009. Whether it be racing for the team or working for the team, he's been there since 2009. And now, as rumors are spreading around, and when one rumor spreads, it's like a forest fire. Once one match is lit, once one tree's on fire, the whole forest is gone. It just doesn't make sense of why Tony would leave. I mean, this is a team that's given him so much. It's given him a part-time owner role, a place, a championship, his last win. It doesn't make sense of why he would leave, but kudos to him. He has a great drag racing program going on, and he already left the SRX and shut down his sprint car team. So it wouldn't surprise me a whole lot if after this year he says, I'm taking my leave and I'm gone. Because I feel that he's already halfway through that already broken door at Stewart-Haas, and he is basically gone at the end of the season. And what do they do after that? Because I don't think Gene Haas has enough funding, even with his own company, Haas Tooling. I don't think he has enough funding to keep that team afloat. So what I'm going to say is right now, I think that they could sell charters to these teams. Front Row, Trackhouse, 2311, or RFK. Those are the 4 teams I think that would be in that boat of swimming across that figurative river and getting those charters, obviously with the new TV deal and all these different new things that are coming next year. I definitely think that if SHR sells their team, they already are going to sell 2 charters. That was made official a few weeks ago. But If they sell their whole team, then that's 4 charters that could be up for grabs. And I just mentioned 4 teams. 1 for Front Row, 1 for RFK, 1 for 2311, and 1 for Trackhouse. That means that unless somehow one of those teams doesn't want the charter, then that's fine. But we're going to get away from charters now. I'm going to go to Kevin Harvick's interview. Someone, I don't remember who, Eric Estep said it, so go watch his video from today. If you want to watch all the in-depth stuff, he's a better YouTuber, I'll say that. And I just wanted to mention some of his stuff that I learned from his video today. So, Kevin Harvick, a longtime Stewart-Haas guy, raced there for 9 seasons, basically 10 years, from 2014 to 2023. And his few moments at Hendrick, he said that he talked to his boss 2 times in the last week or month or so. Some time period, he talked to Rick 2 different times. He said that's way better than SHR. That means that SHR's structural compatibility or compactability, I don't remember what word it is, but everything that's going on at SHR right now is terrible. If this is true, that means Tony Stewart doesn't give a shit, that Gene Haas doesn't give a shit, and that no one gives an absolute shit. That no one is there to talk to the drivers. That's why a few months ago when Ryan Preece was left out of that study group that Gregson, Briscoe, and Barry started, I wonder why they started a little study group to go off their notes. It's because they're not a Tier 1 Ford charter team anymore. They're not getting that support from Stewart, from Haas, from Joe Custer. They're not getting that support from them and getting that respect and that like compatibility that you need to have at a team to work. I actually wouldn't be surprised, and actually I'd kind of be happy if SHR is gone after this season. I know it gave Briscoe his big break. It gave Barry his first full-time Cup ride. It gave Gregson a new outcome. And it gave Ryan Preece an opportunity. But what I'm going to say is already 2 of those guys were out after the season if they don't sell their team. I mean, if they already sell 2 charters. But if they sell the team, they're all out. But what stories are showing is that Gregson will be going to Front Row to drive the 34. Preece will most likely go down part-time in trucks or full-time, part-time somewhere. Or he might be out of the sport in general. I don't know. Briscoe, besides Stewart-Haas, I really don't know what team he could race for. I mean, Briscoe's been a long time Stewart-Haas. He's raced there since 2018 when he made part-time starts there, when he was part of that RFK 60 group that failed in the Xfinity Series. He raced for that 98 team, then full-time in 2019, full-time in 2020, won those 9 races in Xfinity, full-time in 2020, then got his first Cup season in 2021 with Stewart-Haas. Then got his first win in the Cup Series with Stewart-Haas. Got his first round of 8 entrance and good deep playoff run with Stewart-Haas. Had setbacks, but came back from those in 2023 with Stewart-Haas. And now holds on to a playoff spot right now, for now, with Stewart-Haas. So Gregson, I know Gregson, Barry, and Preece can probably find rides anywhere else. Gregson, it seems, has support from Bass Pro, Ranger Boats, Black Rifle Coffee. He has that support. Serve Pro, Winchester. It seems he has support from these brands that we didn't even know of. Barry has support from Sunny D. And, what's it called? Harrison's. He has this support from other people. And Briscoe has support from Mahindra Tractors, High Point. He has, all 3 of those guys have sponsors. Preece, I don't know where he could go. I mean, Preece has not really much funding, but he could bring something to the table. But for the other 3, Preece, Barry, and Gregson, they could probably find rides anywhere. But Briscoe has been a long-time Stewart-Haas driver. I really don't know where else he could go it just doesn't add up. Briscoe is a great Cup driver, a great talent. He deserves to be in the Cup Series, and I don't know where he'd go after the season. So that's enough about Stewart-Haas. Now we're going to go over the power rankings. So weekly power rankings, I do them every week now, hopefully. So going on to this, at number 10, we have Joey Logano, who broke into the top 10 after his dominating performance in the All-Star race, leading all but one lap in that 200 lap main event. And I think Joey is on a streak, not just in NASCAR with his good run at with his few good runs and Ford's good runs that started at Darlington with Keselowski's win. He definitely seems to be back in his old Joey Logano shoes. And if he can keep this momentum up, I definitely think he can go to Charlotte and win. I mean, Logano, I don't think he has ever won the Coca-Cola 600. It'd be kind of cool to see him win that. At number 9, we have Tyler Reddick. He's fallen down the last several weeks because after Darlington, he fell back because he didn't get the finish, but he was still, I think, 6th. But the All-Star race was terrible. He was in the top 5 at one point, but then fell back with pit strategy, and Reddick was just terrible. I mean, I don't know how to go over that. That was terrible at North Wilkesboro for that 45 team, but he moves down to number 9. Number 8, Brad Keselowski. I should have him maybe higher. You guys can argue with me in the comments, but Keselowski didn't have the best run at North Wilkesboro. Got a top 10, but obviously it was not a non-points paying race. But I definitely think Keselowski could do it good at Charlotte. He didn't do good in the 2022 or 2023 race, but he's won a Coke 600 before. He's won at Charlotte before. And if Ford can keep up this streak of winning Darlington, now the All-Star race, if they can keep up this streak, Ford could defend their win at the Coke 600. Then at number 7, I have Keselowski's teammate, Chris Buescher. Buescher showed up at Kansas, led laps, battled, finished 2nd in that photo finish. Darlington, heartbreaking, had a good car late, took the lead, got run up into the fence by Tyler Reddick, ended up finishing 31st or 30th. North Wilkesboro finished as 3rd. He had a good car, just not good enough to compete with the guys like Hamlin or Logano. But Buescher had a good car at North Wilkesboro this weekend, and if we can keep up this string of good runs and leading laps and being up in the top 5, Buescher's gonna get a win very soon, and he could repeat what he did in 2023. Now moving on to number 6, I have William Byron. This is the lowest I've had him all season. He has struggled the last several races. Kansas didn't do that good. Dover didn't do that good. Kansas didn't do that good. Darlington didn't do that good, even though he did get a top 10, finished 6th, but that's a consolation prize with how he's been running. And then North Wilkesboro hit the wall like a rookie mistake coming out of turn 2, and then finished, I think, 17 or 18 laps down. He never was able to recover, and I really feel that he struggled a lot in the last several races. And if Byron wants to contend for this championship like we've seen and thought he could this season, he needs to get back to what he's been doing at Charlotte. Then at number 5, we have the top 5 now, is Denny Hamlin. He was 7th after my last video in Kansas. Now he moves up to 5th because of his good run at North Wilkesboro. I know it's obviously not a points race, it doesn't count, but Hamlin had another good run. This could be a championship season for Hamlin. I'm not sure, but it seems he's up front almost every single week. So we'll have to see what the 2022 Coca-Cola 600 winner can do, but I definitely think Hamlin could be up front and contending for the win at Charlotte. Number 4 is Ryan Blaney. He's still up here in my power rankings. He's been doing good. He's still doing good. And I definitely feel that if he can keep up this momentum, he can contend. Number 3, Chase Elliott. Not biased again, but he did fall down from 2nd to 3rd after his bad run, I'd say, at the All-Star race. He still finished 8th, but not that good. But Darlington, he battled back to finish 12th. Adversity. And he's had good races in the last several races, so it's been good, but not good enough. Then, at number 2, we have, something got in my eye, but we have Martin Truex Jr. Now, this is surprising, but he's been very consistent the last several races. He hasn't run in the top 5 most weeks, but he's been consistently getting top 10s, running in the top 10s, leading laps, getting good pit stops. He's been doing good with that. And then finally at number 1, we have Kyle Larson. Obviously, this is not a hard decision to make. I mean, he was 1st on my power rankings after Kansas, 3rd on my power rankings after Darlington. Then now he's 1st on my power rankings after North Wilkesboro. So that's my power rankings. Comment down below what you guys thought about this video. I know it's a longer one. I hope you all enjoyed this longer form video. I know I'll try to keep it shorter next time. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram, and I'll catch you on the next one for more midweek episodes. There could be more episodes leading up, as I will do an IndyCar episode previewing for the Indy 500. I don't do IndyCar stuff a lot, but we're having an Indy 500 episode sometime this week, and I hope you all have a great rest of your night, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.